US battleship and aircraft carrier will disappear if Russia reactivates this aircraft. Can this happen? The larger ground effect vehicle, the Lun class, was built in the late 1980s and caused a bit of a stir within the American intelligence community, which did not know what the Lun class was and dubbed it the Caspian Sea Monster. This massive 8-engine Ekranoplan was both the heaviest and largest aircraft in existence from the mid-1960s to the late 1980s. A few years ago, a Twitter account linked to the Russian embassy in South Africa tweeted that Russia would begin building a new ground effect vehicle sometime this year. The JEV in question appears to be called Chaika 2. The company website says that the Chaika 2 is designed for ferrying high-speed passengers and cargo transportation in marine littoral areas, and seems to suggest that the JEV can be used in cold weather for landing on both snow and ice. This crucial detail is why JEVs may be important to Russia. A cold surprise, a 2018 article by the Russian state-owned TASS news agency outlined why JEVs are useful, saying that they can be used to ensure Russia's northern sea route is open and protected by units hovering and monitoring the area. The Arctic is becoming more and more contested as it melts and remains unfrozen later into the year, and could eventually be ice-free year-round. This would be a boon to Russian shipping, as routes to North America and Asia could be significantly shortened, and may make oil and gas exploration easier. Multiple armed ground effect vehicles could serve as a fast reaction force for patrolling Russia's newly unfrozen north or be a powerfully persuasive reason for staying out of the region during a conflict. Still, it remains to be seen how seriously to take the Ekranoplan project, though the Arctic has definitely become a region of increasing importance to Russia. We'll see what happens to the new Caspian Sea monsters. The Caspian Sea monster rises from the grave. The Caspian Sea monster rises from the grave, beached on the western shores of the Caspian Sea. It looks like a colossal aquatic beast, a bizarre creation more at home in the deep than above the waves. It certainly doesn't look like something that could ever fly. But fly it did, albeit a long time ago. After lying dormant for more than 3 decades, the Caspian Sea monster has been on the move again. One of the most eye-catching flying machines ever built, it's completing what could be its final journey. In July of this year, after 14 hours at sea, a flotilla of 3 tugs and 2 escort vessels maneuvered slowly along the shores of the Caspian Sea to deliver their bulky special cargo to its destination, a stretch of coast near Russia's southernmost point. It's here, next to the ancient city of Derbent, in Russia's Republic of Dagestan, that the 380-ton Lun-class Ekranoplan has found its new, and most likely definitive, home. The last of its breed to sail the waters of the Caspian, Lun, was abandoned after the 1990s collapse of the Soviet Union, condemned to rust away at Kaspiysk Naval Base, some 100 kilometers (62 miles) up the coast from Derbent. But before it could fade into oblivion, it's been rescued thanks to plans to make it a tourist attraction right at a time when this unusual travel concept could be poised to make a comeback. Ground effect vehicles, also known as Ekranoplans, are a sort of hybrid between airplanes and ships. They move over water without actually touching it. The International Maritime Organization classifies them as ships, but, in fact, they derive their unique high-speed capabilities from the fact that they skim the surface of the water at a height of between 1 and 5 meters, 3 to 16 feet. They take advantage of an aerodynamic principle called ground effect. This combination of speed and stealth, their proximity to the surface while flying makes them difficult to detect by radar, got the attention of the Soviet military, which experimented with several variants of the concept during the Cold War. Their deployment on the vast inland body of water between the Soviet Union and Iran led to them acquiring the nickname Caspian Sea Monster. The Lun Ekranoplan was one of the last designs to come out of the Soviet ground effect vehicle program. Longer than an Airbus A380 Super Jumbo and almost as tall, despite its size and weight, the Lun was capable of reaching speeds of up to 550 km per hour, 340 miles per hour, thanks to 8 powerful turbofans located on its stubby wings. This formidable machine was even able to take off and land in stormy conditions, with waves of up to 2.5 meters. Its intended mission was to conduct lightning sea-borne attacks, with the 6 anti-ship missiles it carried in launch tubes placed at the top of its hull. The Ekranoplan that has been moved to Derbent is the only one of its class ever completed and entered service in 1987. A second Lun, unarmed and assigned to rescue and supply missions, was at an advanced state of completion when, in the early 1990s, the whole program was cancelled and the existing Lun withdrawn from service. After 30-plus years of inaction, getting this sea beast back on the move was no easy task, requiring the assistance of rubber pontoons and a carefully coordinated choreography involving several vessels. Lun will be the star of Durban's planned Patriot Park, a military museum and theme park that will display different sorts of Soviet and Russian military equipment. Construction of the park is expected to start later in 2020. For the time being, Lun will sit alone on the beach. It looks set to become a new highlight for visitors to Durban. The city claims to be the oldest continuously inhabited settlement in Russian territory. Its citadel and historical center have been designated by UNESCO as World Heritage Sites. Lun will add to the attractions of a region that, up until the coronavirus pandemic, had seen a number of initiatives to open it up to tourism, including the launch of cruise itineraries in the Caspian Sea. When it opens, Durban's Patriot Park won't be the only Russian museum exhibiting an Ekranoplan. A much smaller Orlyonok-class Ekranoplan can be found at the Russian Navy Museum in Moscow. While ground effect vehicles fell out of favor in the past few decades, the concept has been experiencing a resurgence of late developers in Singapore. The United States, China and Russia are working on different projects that aim to bring Ekranoplans back to life, although with rather more peaceful purposes. One of them is Singapore-based Widgetworks, whose Airfish 8 prototype builds upon groundwork done by German engineers Hanno Fischer and Alexander Lippisch during the Cold War. Widgetworks acquired the patents and intellectual property rights and have set about trying to improve and update those earlier designs to create a modern ground effect vehicle. Also in Asia, Chinese Ekranoplan Shangzhou 1 flew for the first time in 2017, although little is known about this project.